What's going on, everybody? It's Tristan Adams with Modern Design Aquascaping, and today we are going to take you guys through what we do, how we lay out, design, and install an intake bay on a large-scale koi pond or swim pond natural pool. So we're going to go over many things, including why we install skimmers in the back of our intake bays, how we lay these things out, how big they need to be, calculation based off of your water flow. We are going to go over why we install a dam between the actual pond itself and the intake bay so you don't have to drain the whole thing out to clean it. And we are also going to go over little tips and tricks on how we can artistically disguise this thing without actually inhibiting the functional aspect of our intake bays, such as covering the entire thing with large rocks when we get done. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to walk you through this every step of the way. And by the time we get done, hopefully you'll know how to lay out your intake bay. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to take a minute to actually explain what's going on. So in the beginning of this video, we have told you that we are going to cover many bases of our intake bay design, installation, what is going on in here. So let me explain what this madness is right now. So I'm going to start here with my dam, or weir, if you will, because this is what dictates how much water we have to drain out of the pond to actually empty the intake bay. So this entire shelf right here, just a thin strip, is going to have the liner going up it, over top, and then down into our intake bay. And what that does is right here, 12 inches below water level, we're going to have 2 inches of gravel on top of our liner, and then we're going to have 10 inches of standing water. It makes a pretty thin surface to take this 35,000 gallons an hour ripping through here at a couple feet wide, and that is going to make sure we keep the top water in the pond and the deep stream pristine to collect all of the stuff. So those of you who don't know what an intake bay is, it's a really fancy word and overcomplicated way of a skimmer. It is a skimming system, but it is wildly effective. So dam is covered. Coming back in here, you can see we have this lovely little rectangle spray painted out on the ground. So what that is actually our footprint that we're digging for our AquaBlox, which, if you don't know what AquaBlox are, they're glorified milk crates that have awesome potential for dispersing weight on top of them. You can put some gravel on top, slap a 5,000-pound rock on top of there, and roll on, and it is good. But this is the surface of our AquaBlox. The extra excavation that we have in here is because if you calculate the perfect size for how many AquaBlox you need based off your water flow per hour, then cover up half of it with boulders, it kind of defeats the purpose of having the right amount of blocks in there. So what we do is we over excavate all the way around this thing, front, back, side to side, so that we can notch our boulders minimum 70% on dirt and barely hanging out over top of our aggregate that's going over our AquaBlox to make sure we maximize the amount of water we can pull down through them. So we are going to come in here in this rectangle, place our boulders free form after we dig the hole, and then pull in backfill soil to create shape, because no one likes a rectangle, guys. I guess some people probably do, but we're not those guys. So our vaults are being staged in the back of this scenario. We are making sure that we don't have our vaults completely on the outside surrounded by aggregate, because that doesn't generally work. They are not made to support all of that crazy weight. So we are going to have a vault here, AquaBlox in the front, AquaBlox in between me and my next vault, and then AquaBlox, and my next vault. We've got 3 of them going in here. And now another final point that we are going to go over. We have a skimmer box that's going to be going right over here where I'm sitting. And the reason that we put a skimmer box in, even though we have this giant intake bay in here that is a skimmer, is because all of the leaves and debris that fall on the surface of this thing and pull in here, unless the homeowners are on a daily basis coming over here with their little pool net and swiping up the leaves before they actually get heavy and sink to the bottom, that debris otherwise is just going to collect on top of the 3x5 stones we're going to be putting on top of our AquaBlox. And eventually, as it collects closest to the vaults where the water pull is the highest, it starts clogging up those holes and working its way this way, and you'll notice less and less and less pull. And eventually you get stuff that's starting to back up into here. And then all of a sudden you're standing on your bridge over here and there's crap all over the top of the water. Nobody wants that. So for ease of not having to get a pool net and not having to get into your intake bay, we slap a little skimmer box in the back of these guys so that you have the nice rigid basket with the Aquascapes 1000 skimmer box. You have the nice rigid basket that you can just pull out. You can dump the leaves on a daily basis in 2 minutes to make sure it does not accumulate and collect on top of your aqua blocks.